Hi, this is the Blue Cobra, and it's Friday, September 5th, 2008. Let's talk politics. I am on cloud 9 today, folks. For so many reasons. Wow. Simply what a great night last night was for all of us liberals and Democrats. Did you catch McCain's acceptance speech? I did. I was honestly about to fall asleep about halfway through. The guy can't make a speech to save his life. His voice is a monotone, and when he tries to be inspiring, he simply sounds like he's going through a very hormonal puberty, and his voice is all over the place. Wow, he is terrible. In the speech itself, I hope you listened to it, and I hope you paid attention, and I hope you noticed how utterly sarcastic and vicious it was, which is basically the summary of the Republican policies. In the entire overlong thing, I didn't hear a single policy description. Not a one. In a time when America is going through a recession, you would expect to hear policies spewing from him like a water fountain. Obama did, right? And that's what people thought he needed to do. The pundits said, Obama has not been specific enough. He needs to list what he's going to do and connect with the average American middle-class voter. And they apparently thought McCain would have to limit that kind of talk, because he's done too much of it or something. Limit it. And now look. He rid his speech of that part completely. And yet he somehow managed to fit in several vicious attacks on Obama, and also a glittery description of his own life. I nearly vomited several times. Like when he made the allegation that Obama has anointed himself to save the people. That is ridiculous. And it's starting to remind me of a popularity contest at a school where you're running for class president instead of president of the United States, and you're losing. So you start making these petty allegations like, oh, he broke up with her, or she picks her nose. This is like, he's jealous that Obama can draw so many big crowds. He's inspired the electorate. He's just jealous. So he has to resort to these allegations of egotism and elitism, because he just got rid of his former best argument in experience by choosing someone who makes Obama look like an elder statesman, Sarah Palin. And whatever happened to the McCain who preferred not to objectify his military service? It's all he does now. Not that I blame him. He doesn't have much else going for him. But it just seems so despicable. He's saying, look, I'm a war hero, vote for me. No. Just no. If that were at all valid, then any single person in the military could run for president and win. And I will just say that his military service is part of what turned me off of him. Not because I disrespect military service. I profoundly respect our men and women in uniform. But I'm simply afraid that he's not mentally fit to lead our nation. He lives in a constant state of combat. And just imagine for a second what he might do if Russia started puffing its chest, becoming confrontational, with his finger on the button, with him in charge of our nuclear arsenals and the most powerful military on this planet. Just imagine what could happen. So let's summarize the Republican convention. Before I really go on about my summary, I want to mention that particularly tasteless 9/11 video they played last night. Keith Olbermann mentioned this too on MSNBC last night. And I hadn't seen it because the networks, I don't believe, showed it. I didn't see if any of the others did. But I saw it on CNN.com live, their live stream, unfiltered. It was graphic, and it was the lowest kind of politics, really. They were using the dead for political purposes. And I lost a couple of friends in 9/11, so I know what it's like to go through that. And I profoundly, fundamentally object to what they've done. They're using fear. They're using this false patriotism, this desire to combat terrorism, and they're using the dead to make that point for the Republican Party. That was tasteless. But anyway, the false patriotism was palpable every night of the convention. And the speeches, lackluster, except for Palin. And while hers was delivered with a cocky confidence, it was still completely without fact, especially, like I'd already mentioned last time, the attack on Obama's community organizing, which I still find tasteless. But she got 37.2 million viewers to Obama's 40 million. That's not bad. And you might have heard earlier today, I just want to clear this up because I've heard this from a few people I've talked to. You might have heard that McCain's speech got more viewers than Obama's. Politico had reported this earlier. But they came forward a little later and cleared it up. They said it was a mistake, and it was only due to a football game that came on before the speech. And that was only on NBC. So no, he did not receive more viewers. In fact, I'll go out on a limb and say it was much less than Obama's. Because, see, the numbers for the football game got mashed up in the numbers for the speech, and just gave the wrong impression. So, just wanted to clear that up, because I don't want that kind of information going around on the internet. And one more nugget of information for today. Apparently, according to ABC, Sarah Palin's Troopergate problem, and by Troopergate, I mean the blossoming scandal regarding her abuse of power to fire a state trooper, is about to get a whole lot worse. The investigation is complete, and is due to be released soon. And the investigator, and get this, said it might be damaging to her administration. Aha! That means they found something. You just know it, and I can't wait to find out what it is. A little tidbit before I quit, because I still have some time. You might have heard that McCain's use of the song Barracuda at the convention this week was objected to by Heart, the band which made that song, and yet they used it anyway. Now, I'm not one to trivialize politics, but when they ignore the request of the band to stop using it, you know something's wrong. And for those of you that are confused, they used the song Barracuda because Sarah Palin had the nickname Barracuda as a basketball player in high school. Just to clear that up. Now, it's Friday, like I mentioned, so I will not be seeing you again until Monday. This is a 5-day thing, 5-day a week, and I know this was a short week because I only started this whole thing on Wednesday, and I want to thank those of you that have been watching, really. I know I've gotten off to a slow start. This is my first time doing this kind of commentary, but like I said last time, I'm getting the hang of it. And I'm really thankful to the people who have commented on my videos. Please, if you're listening and you liked this, or you didn't like it, please leave a comment, because that's what keeps me going. That's what gives me the inspiration to continue. And I'll always respond to the comments. Like right now I'm going to respond to a couple that were left. Sinister Voices. You talked about what the media is ignoring in this election. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. They have been ignoring a lot of negatives about Palin and McCain. And I hope they grow some balls. Or for the females, I don't know. I was going to say grow some balls, but females don't have balls. But anyway, I just hope they get the courage to come out with some new information about her. The information that we know is out there. All this stuff. And, Aladola 11, I hope I'm saying that right. You said, and I quote, "I hope you were right about the polls and the masses not electing these scary conservative whacks into office." Right on. I love you already. If I knew you, and if you're a girl, I would marry you. And if you were a man, I would still bury your man babies. And the Force is my ally. You commented on my first video. You're the only one so far. Thanks for doing that. Please keep listening. I will see you guys on Monday. God bless America.